Your dog may never say the words, "I love you," but they are screaming it every single day. They are speaking to you constantly, just not in a language we humans are used to hearing. Inside every nudge, every lingering glance, and every sleepy sigh, there is a quiet, desperate message waiting to be heard. And if you have ever laid awake wondering whether your dog truly sees you as family or just a food source, the answer is already right in front of you. In this video, we are uncovering 7 of the deepest, most soul-bearing compliments a dog can give their human. These are small gestures that carry massive meaning. And if your dog has done even just one of them, you aren't just someone they live with. You are someone they trust with their life. After today, every tail wag or gentle sigh might mean more than you ever imagined. Let's listen to what they have to say. 1. The Doorway Sentry. You have seen it before. It's late in the evening, or maybe a quiet Sunday afternoon. Your dog is lying near the doorway, or maybe at the top of the stairs. They aren't sleeping. Their head is up, ears are swiveled. They are just there. At first, it feels like nothing, just their usual spot to cool off on the tile. But that is not random. That is positioning. That is strategy. In the canine world, where you rest says everything about who you are protecting. Dogs are descendants of animals that were both predator and prey. Resting never meant letting your guard down completely. It meant staying alert for the pack. Now picture this. You are sitting on the couch, vulnerable, relaxed. The house is quiet. And there is your dog parked physically between you and the hallway, or between you and the front door. Eyes open, body still. They aren't resting. They are standing watch. Studies in canine cognition show that dogs choose resting spots based on field of vision and escape routes. But when that spot is specifically chosen to create a barrier between you and the outside world, that is not just instinct. That is affection. That is deep protective love. It is their way of saying, if anything comes through that door, they will have to get through me before they reach you. That is no accident. That is no coincidence. That is loyalty quietly placed right at your feet. And here is something even sweeter. Some dogs do this while you are asleep. They pick a spot by the bedroom door, not to nap, but to be the first line of defense. When your dog guards the door, they are guarding their heart, and you are in it. 2. The silent shadow. But guarding the door is just one way they say, "I love you." This next one happens when you are moving, and it proves you are the center of their universe. Have you ever felt like your dog is always one step behind you? You get up to grab a glass of water, and there they are. You shift in your seat, and suddenly they are watching. You head to the bathroom, and those paws follow without a word. We often joke about this. We call them Velcro dogs. We call it clingy. But it's not just curiosity. It's not boredom. It is devotion in motion. Dogs are pack animals to their core. And in a pack, the most trusted member, the leader, the anchor, always gets followed. Not because they demand it, but because the others feel safest near them. When your dog follows you from room to room, even without being called, they are making a powerful statement without making a sound. They are saying, "Where you are, that is where I belong." And here is what is fascinating psychologically. Behaviorists say that dogs exhibit what is called proximity seeking. This means the closer they are physically to someone they love, the calmer their nervous system becomes. Their heart rate literally slows down when you are near. So when they follow you, it's not about controlling you. It's about feeling grounded. Even if they just sit a few feet away while you fold laundry or lay quietly on the bath mat while you brush your teeth, they aren't being annoying. They are anchoring themselves to the person they trust most. That presence, that quiet loyalty, it is a compliment most humans miss. Some dogs won't even sleep unless they know exactly where you are in the house. Not because they are anxious, but because they feel responsible for you. That quiet following, that silent shadow behind your steps, is one of the most understated yet honest forms of love a dog can give. When your dog follows you room to room, they aren't just tracking your scent, they are chasing the feeling of home. 3. The deep sigh of safety. And if that touched your heart, wait until you hear what they do when they finally settle down. This next behavior happens when the world stops moving and it says more than words ever could. It's the sigh. You know the moment. You've just sat down after a long day. The house is finally still. Your dog circles 3 times on the rug, flops down with a heavy thud, and then they let out a long, nose-whistling exhale. We often project our own feelings onto this. We think, oh, they're bored, or they're disappointed we didn't go for a walk. But in dog language, a sigh is rarely about sadness. It is about release. It is a biological reset button. Think about how much energy a dog spends being alert. They listen to cars, they smell the wind, they watch your mood. They are constantly on. When they lie down next to you and let out that long, deep sigh, they are signaling a transition. They are shifting from alert mode to safe mode. They are saying, I am safe here. The pack is together. I can let go. It is the sound of their nervous system powering down because they trust you to take over the watch. If they do this with their eyes half closed, looking soft and heavy, it is the ultimate compliment. It means they feel secure enough to be vulnerable. They don't have to worry about predators or strangers because you are there. That sigh isn't boredom. It is peace. It is the sound of a soul feeling completely at home. 4. The bathroom escort. But sometimes they don't want to let their guard down. Sometimes they sense the moment you are most vulnerable and insist on being there. This next sign shows up in the most private place in the house, and it usually makes us laugh. It's the bathroom escort. It starts as a joke. You close the door, and there is a nose sniffing under it in seconds, or a paw scratching. Or worse, they push the door open and stare at you. But here's the truth. Your dog following you to the bathroom isn't about being weird or having no boundaries. It is about protection. In the wild moments of isolation meant vulnerability. Going off alone was risky. Predators attack the separated. That instinct still lives inside your dog. When you disappear behind a door, especially a room that smells of water and strange sounds, where your vision is limited, their brain says that is danger. Behaviorists call this territorial monitoring. To a dog, your home is shared ground, but every room you enter becomes a space they must check. And when you close the bathroom door, you aren't just closing them out. You are creating a blind spot. And that feels unsafe for both of you. So they whine or sit outside waiting, or push the door open and plop right at your feet. It is not invasion. It is involvement. They are saying, I have got your back even here. Older dogs especially, those bonded tightly to one person, do this more. They have learned your routines. And any break in that pattern, even a closed door, signals something they want to be near for. And here's the kicker: some dogs position themselves facing the door, even in the bathroom, still on duty, still scanning, still watching. When your dog insists on joining you in the most private room, they aren't being rude. They are showing they feel responsible for your safety, even in the quietest moments. 5. The check-in glance. But guarding isn't always about standing watch. Sometimes it's just about staying connected. This next behavior happens when you are out in the world, and it proves that even with all the distractions of nature, you are still their priority. It's the check-in. You are walking your dog, maybe off leash or on a long line. They are running ahead, sniffing a bush, chasing a leaf. They seem totally absorbed in their own world. But then every 30 seconds or so, they stop. They turn their head. They look back at you, just for a second, and then they keep running. That glance, that is everything. In a world full of squirrels, other dogs, and a million fascinating smells, they are choosing to look at you. They are mentally tethering themselves to you. They are asking, are you still there? Are we still a team? Okay, good. A dog that doesn't feel a deep bond will just run. They will disappear over the hill without a second thought. But a dog that loves you uses you as their compass. They explore, but they orbit around you. You are their gravity. This behavior is rooted in the way wolf packs move. The scouts always check back with the alpha to ensure the pack hasn't fragmented. When your dog looks back at you on a walk, they are honoring that ancient pact. They are saying, I am independent, but I am yours. It is a subtle, fleeting moment, but it screams devotion. 6. Sleeping with their back to you. And speaking of devotion, this next sign shows up when they are unconscious. It looks like indifference, but it is actually the highest form of trust. It's sleeping with their back to you. Your dog climbs into bed or onto the couch. They spin a little circle, and then instead of curling up facing you for cuddles, they flop down with their spine pressed against your leg, facing outward. No eye contact, no kisses, just back. Don't be fooled. This isn't rejection. This is trust in its purest form. In the animal kingdom, turning your back to someone is dangerous. It exposes your blind spot. It means you cannot see if they attack. You only turn your back on family. You only turn your back on those you trust with your life. When your dog rests like that, they are saying, I don't need to watch you because I know you won't hurt me. But there is a second layer. By facing outward away from you, they are positioning themselves between you and the potential danger. Behaviorists call this guard down positioning or defensive resting. They are watching the room so you don't have to. Some dogs curl into a ball at your back to share heat. Others stretch out guarding the edge of the bed. Either way, the message is the same. You are my safe place, and I am yours. Older dogs, especially those raised with you for years, often do this without thinking. It becomes a rhythm, a ritual. You might miss it. You might think they are just getting comfortable. But that position is packed with unspoken loyalty. When a dog sleeps with their back to you, they aren't turning away. They are leaning into trust silently, completely. 7. Empathic responding. Checking on you when you cry. And if that made your heart soften, wait until you see the final sign. This is the one that proves your soul is connected to theirs. It is rare, deeply emotional, and it might just bring tears to your eyes. It is checking on you when you cry. It's quiet. You think you are alone. Maybe tears are falling, or your breath is shaking because you received bad news. And then there is a paw, a nose nudge, a gentle head resting heavily on your knee. You didn't call them. You didn't make a sound, but they came. Dogs don't understand words like divorce, or grief, or failure, but they read emotion with extraordinary accuracy. Studies show that dogs can detect human sadness through facial expressions, body language, and even changes in the chemical composition of your sweat and tears. They can smell the cortisol rising. When you are upset, they know. And more importantly, they care. What is remarkable is how soft they become in these moments. Even the most energetic, chaotic puppy often slows down. Their body lowers. Their eyes stay on you. It is not random. It is comfort on purpose. Behaviorists refer to this as empathic responding. It is when dogs mirror your emotional state and take action to soothe it. But unlike people, they don't ask awkward questions. They don't try to fix it with words. They just show up silently. They offer their presence as a bandage. Older dogs are especially sensitive to this. After years of living beside you, they pick up on even the smallest signals, a shift in your tone, a sigh the way you sit down. And when they come to you, in those moments, it is more than instinct. It is love sharpened by time. Sometimes they just sit beside you, pressing their fur against your leg. Sometimes they lick the tears from your face. But every gesture whispers the same thing. I see you. I am here. You are not alone. When your dog checks on you during a hard moment, they aren't just reacting. They are reminding you that you are loved. Not for what you do, but for who you are. And that might be the deepest compliment of all. Because in their quiet, wordless way, they have said it, you are my person. Now you know. Dogs don't say, I love you, with words. They say it in watchful eyes at the door. They say it in silent steps behind you. They say it in the heavy sigh at your feet. They say it in the way they guard you while you shower and the way they check on you on a walk. Each look, each lean, each moment of shared stillness. It is their language. A language of loyalty, a presence of love deeper than most people ever realize. And if your dog has ever done even just one of these things, you haven't just been a pet owner. You have been someone's whole world. I want to invite you to do something special today. Go down to the comments section and simply write the name of your dog. Let's create a massive memorial of names to honor these incredible souls who love us so deeply without ever saying a word. I'll be reading through them and sending love to every single one. Thank you for watching, and give your best friend a hug from me.